Hello friends, we are here today in Hebrews chapter 12. So in the last chapter we were talking about basically a big list of all these people that had great faith. And God did great things through these people because of their faith. And this chapter he's talking, whoever the writer of the Hebrews is talking about how he giving us encouragement for keeping the faith. And so in the beginning he's saying, now in light of this great cloud of witnesses, he's talking about the people from the previous chapter. And he's kind of drawing a picture as if these people are watching you. And he's like, let's pretend you're in this arena. Let's say it's not faith that we're talking about, but sports. Let's pretend that you're in your favorite sport and all your favorite sports stars are watching you in this arena. How are you going to act then? Are you going to put on the best show you can possibly do, knowing that the people that are the best at this, the people that you think are great people, are watching you? And he's saying that's what you need to do with your faith. You need to use your faith. You need to show your faith in a way that all these stars of the faith will look at you and say, that guy's doing a great job. Now, it's just a picture. You need to act like that. God is watching you. That's the one that you should be trying to impress. So then he addresses the hardships that these people are going through. The difficulties. The reason that they're having trouble keeping the faith is because of all the trouble they're getting from the Jewish people. And so he is saying, look at Jesus, who endured the cross, not in a way that's like, oh man, now I have to do this cross thing. He did it with joy, knowing that he was going to have us in the end. And so we, likewise, should endure all of this like Jesus did. And it calls him the founder and perfecter of our faith. Now we know him as the founder, but what does it mean to be the perfecter of our faith? And he's saying, he's our Father. And like our Father, he perfects us. He's disciplining us. And so these trials that the Christians are going through, they're really difficult. You wouldn't try to discipline your neighbor's kid. You don't care about your neighbor's kid, but you care about your own children because you love them. So here he's saying these trials that they're going through, these are really things that God wanted to happen. These are things that God is using to perfect the church. And he's saying, we're going through it now and it doesn't feel great, but it's for our holiness. It's for our perfection. At the end of this part, he says something that's kind of interesting to me. He's saying, so because of that, we should not sin and we shouldn't be sexually immoral like Esau. Now, I don't know of any part in the Bible where it talks about Esau being, sexually immoral. But I think what it's talking about is the fact that Esau gave up his birthright. We are supposed to look at this inheritance that we are getting, of heaven through God our Father, and not sell it for a bowl of soup like Esau did. I don't know if you know the story, but Esau was out hunting and he was really hungry and he came back and Jacob had a nice warm bowl of soup that he had just prepared. And Esau is saying, give me that bowl of soup, I'm hungry. And he said, well, you're going to have to give me your birthright. And he's like, your birthright? I'm starving. And so he's like, well, fine, I'm going to die of starvation. Why don't you just give me the soup and I'll give you my birthright? And he would have survived. But he gave up his birthright for a bowl of soup. And he's saying, don't act like it's that cheap, Your birthright, this birthright, the ability that we have to be with God someday, that's that's so much more important than the things of this world. The last thing that's mentioned in this chapter is talking about this kingdom that cannot be shaken. And in the beginning of this section, it starts talking about stuff. It's kind of hard to understand what it's talking about. It has thunder and lightning and mountain and trumpets and goats. And you're like, what is this chapter talking about? But it's referencing a story in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, where God decided that he wanted to talk to his people, and so he had everybody come to the foot of the mountain, and he says, you're not allowed to be in the presence of God. You cannot go up to the mountain. If you do, you will die. You can't be in the presence of God. When that happened, God spoke, and everybody was very afraid. It was so loud, and it was so powerful that it shook the entire mountain when the voice of God came. And the people said, we're going to die if we continue like this. We can't even be this close to the presence of God, or else we're going to die. They decided that Moses should come. And then at that point, God said something interesting. He said, I'm going to send my word. And when he said that, he was talking about Jesus. We know that in the beginning of John, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So at that point, he said, I'm going to send my word. But then he said this other interesting thing. He said, when there's a day coming when I'm going to shake not just the earth, but the heavens. The heavens, he's going to shake the heavens? Like he's going to shake heaven and earth? And what is this kingdom that cannot be shaken if he's shaking the heavens? Well, there's a difference between the heavens and heaven being in the presence of God. The heavens can mean, the air, the sky. It can mean the planets. There's going to be a day coming where I'm going to shake, the universe. But these are physical things. These are things that were made. And he's saying that when God shakes the whole world, he's going to save his kingdom. He's going to save his people. So that's the way that we're in a kingdom that cannot be shaken. God is going to shake everything in the physical world, but if you are with him, you will not be shaken. So anyways, that is Hebrews chapter 12. Have a great day. Bye.